From in and around the capital region on the Alive Radio Network, this is The Matter at Hand. I'm Alicia Purdy.
I'm your blue fuzzy buddy with long arms made for snuggling. Now let's get huggy wuggy. There's no need to hesitate, 'cause I can just hug you here forever, forever, till you breathe your last breath. Together, so stay still while I give you these free hugs for the ones that...
A note went home to parents at a Hudson Valley Head Start school in April, warning parents about some new cartoon characters that are causing major issues among young children, affecting their behavior and their mental health. Huggy Wuggy and Kissy Missy are quickly gaining in popularity among elementary and middle school kids who encounter the murderous pals on every type of social platform and game, from YouTube to Roblox and Minecraft and phone apps, often popping up in advertisements and terrifying kids with their gruesome smiles, sharp, bloody teeth, and soothing voices that tell kids they're about to be given a hug or a kiss, which is how the characters plan to murder them.
Stop running, you'll miss out on your free hugs for the ones I see, ones I see, ones I see. Free hugs for the ones I find, wanna try. Best party is at free.
Huggy Wuggy and Kissy Missy are part of the Poppy Playtime game, which is a survival horror video game where players make their way through a toy factory, trying to solve puzzles, and along the way they encounter several toys who are really victims who have had their skin brutally removed and were sewn into the bodies of stuffed animals by an evil toy maker and now murder others in order to exact their revenge.
Sink my teeth in and you're consumed. So stay still while I give you these free hugs.
According to the letter sent home to parents in the Hudson Valley, and according to reports from around the nation, kids in schools have been seen drawing pictures of Huggy Wuggy, trying to mimic his deadly hug-till-you-pop squeezes on the playground, and even attempting to harm themselves by obeying Huggy Wuggy's commands to do things like jump out of windows. While not necessarily made to be seen by young children, Huggy Wuggy, Kissy Missy, and the deadly Poppy Playtime characters are widely and easily available on popular platforms like TikTok.
So stay still while I give you these free hugs.
And the advertisements are able to get through parental filters because of their cute names. And in a post-COVID era where parents and educators alike have come to rely heavily on digital devices to teach, entertain, and babysit kids at home and at school, guarding them against such evil things has become increasingly difficult. But as terrible as it sounds, it's nothing new.
Cabbage Patch Kids,
Growing in the garden,
Cabbage Patch Kids.
growing in the sun.
And the most amazing thing about a Cabbage Patch Kid is that each one grows to be a special one.
In the 1980s, President Ronald Reagan deregulated the airways, allowing companies to advertise their products directly to children, like cereal and toys, and even building TV shows around marketing campaigns and creating schemes to generate rabid desire in order to sell more products, which caused profit margins to skyrocket as kids watched their favorite Saturday morning cartoons or after-school programs and begged their parents to buy the latest and greatest toys ever, like He-Man, Rainbow Bright, the Smurfs, G.I. Joe, and Cabbage Patch Kids, the dimpled dolls that were so popular in the early 1980s that parents were scalping them for triple the price, getting into fistfights, choking each other, camping out in front of stores, and storming stockrooms in order to get their hands on them for their children.
Every Cabbage Patch Kid needs the love of someone to make their dream come true. A mom or a dad or a brother or a sister like you. Hey, Cabbage Patch Kids.
It was at the height of American consumerism mania in the 1980s that Phil Phillips wrote a book that stopped many Christians dead in their tracks and caused them to throw their kids' favorite toys in the trash and toss the TV. Turmoil in the Toybox.
Hello, I'm Gary Greenwald, and over the past several years, the Eagle's Nest Ministries has exposed certain things like rock and roll music, Dungeons and Dragons, marijuana, and even the New Age movement, and now we feel there's another attack upon our society. Now, I've got a guest today. His name is Phil Phillips. He has now felt called to study the effects of cartoons and children's toys and even TV programs upon our children today. And I'd like to introduce Phil. God bless you, and it's good to see you today.
It's a pleasure being here today. Yes, there's a vast movement toward the occult within the cartoon and toy industry. Most people don't realize that 80% of all cartoons deal directly with the occult. And 40% of the toys on the market have occultic influence, and these are the most popular.
Phil Phillips' book, Turmoil in the Toybox, took the Christian world by storm when he presented a compelling case for subversive occultic influence and dark spiritual messaging woven into the toys, games, movies, and TV programs millions of children were being exposed to every day and every week. Phillips said he was preparing to go on the mission field when he felt led to fast and pray for several weeks. And during that time, he said the Lord brought strong conviction into his spirit about the plan of the enemy to come after children and destroy their innocence.
The Lord spoke to me about what happens when a child plays with a toy. The toy is a lifeless hunk of plastic, and it only comes to life with that projection of the imagination into a toy.
Yeah.
And they give it life, character, abilities, talents, and set the surroundings around the toy. And the Lord told me that children were being affected by these things and that I was to do something about it.
The deregulation of the 1980s ushered in a unique era for the government, marketing companies, and families, as whole TV series were crafted just to market products for parents and kids to buy, essentially creating the most popular programs into half-an-hour commercials for the latest toy. But while people were pouring their money into products from Star Wars, Thundercats, Scooby-Doo, Care Bears, My Little Pony, and many more, Phil Phillips began examining the spiritual intentions behind the programs and their toys, and wrote Turmoil in the Toybox to let parents know how culture in the world was truly affecting the youngest generation of the kingdom of God. According to Phillips, the spiritual darkness broke into the mainstream through the popular 80s cartoon He-Man, which was turned down by all three major networks and was the first cartoon to find an independent broadcaster, and was an immediate smash hit. The only problem, the show regularly featured demonic spirits, mind control, levitation, astral projection, black magic, pagan rituals, incantations, and portrayed He-Man as an all-powerful god, the master of the universe, preaching a doctrine of darkness and breaking viewership records across the nation at the same time.
And the masters of the universe. I am Adam, Prince of Eternia and defender of the secrets of Castle Grayskull. Fabulous secret powers were revealed to me the day I held aloft my magic sword and said, "By the power of Grayskull."
Turmoil in the Toybox led millions of Christians to abruptly toss their children's toys in the trash or even burn them. And now, nearly 40 years later, those children are themselves parents with their own children, facing the same challenges their mom and dad once did, but not with the same perspective.
Turmoil in the Toybox, a book that literally ruins childhood.
Heath Holland is a self-professed 80s nerd and the host of the YouTube channel Serial at Midnight.
My parents had this book. This book was a big deal. In the 80s, we had this enormous glut of just the coolest stuff ever. It was wonderful to be a kid in the 80s, but it wasn't wonderful if someone told your parents that those things were going to make you go to hell.
Holland, like millions of Christians in the 80s now grown up, has nothing good to say about Phil Phillips and Turmoil in the Toybox, which many blame for the destruction of their childhoods, and they host podcasts, write articles, and speak in interviews about the trauma they experienced as kids. After their parents swiftly removed toys and books they felt were hedonistic, humanistic, materialistic, glorifying sexual behavior, anti-Christ, demonic, terrifying, dark, new age, and occultic from their lives, leaving them with nothing, and sometimes forbidding them from playing with other children their age who had those toys.
Chapter 3, Let's Pretend. Philly Boy begins this chapter by affirming the Lord's sagacity regarding children. Imagination fostered by evil begets violent crime. He also states that there are documented accounts of people killing themselves due to fantasy and undisciplined imagination, but fails to cite any examples. Children that explore mythical rather than real worlds are indulging in what Phillips calls vain imagination. They pretend to be characters more powerful than Jesus.
Nikki G is the host of the Forgotten Library podcast, and she devotes an entire episode to mocking Phil Phillips and Turmoil in the Toybox, scoffing at the idea that children's programming could have an agenda to teach the world's systems to the youngest generations of Christians.
He wants parents to go to toy stores to study and decide whether such items are in line with Scripture before they open their wallets. So why the uptick in the occult? He's glad you asked, reader. It's all the fault of hippies. The writers and creators of the 80s toys came out of the 60s with their acid trips and love beads and Eastern religions. Many of these hippies live in Hollywood. But the very nature of Hollywood leads to a hedonistic way of living, which often involves meditation, drugs, and Eastern religious influences. Phillips also tells parents to educate themselves about the New Age movement and humanism, which is now infiltrating the public schools. Where did he come from, and why doesn't he go away?
Satanic panic is what the press called the reaction of the church to the rapidly growing pop culture influence in America as Christians began to speak out about demonic influences and even demonic experiences in their lives, and to warn others to rid their homes of anything that had ties to the occult or spiritual darkness or evil behaviors or violence and death. Christian lobbying groups were formed, commissions were established to examine censorship, and a rating system for products marketed towards kids. Rock stars spoke before Congress defending their work. Christians created faith-based programming for kids. But did it change anything? Did it help? Did it harm? Did Generation X, the millions of children Phil Phillips was trying to rescue, actually get rescued?
What are the television networks, newspaper and magazine publishers, and the film industry selling nowadays? Casual sex, adultery, homosexuality, violence, abortion, drugs and alcohol. He doesn't believe in evolution either. Are we really surprised by this, though? Remember, the battle is the Lord's. I say, then let him deal with it, and I'll keep my She-Ra and Cabbage Patch dolls.
As much as Turmoil in the Toybox is largely hated and mocked by the very generation Phil Phillips was trying to save, was he right after all?
We'll convert your children. Happens bit by bit, quietly and subtly, and you will barely notice it. You can keep them from disco.
In 2021, the San Francisco Gay Men's Choir made headlines when they published a song called We'll Convert Your Children, singing about their plan to come for America's youth. While the choir later said the song was tongue-in-cheek, Christians took it as hard evidence that what they had been saying all along was actually true. There is an agenda, and the darkness of the world is coming for the children.
Your children will work to convert all their sisters and brothers. Then soon your kids will start converting you. The gay agenda is coming home.
In 2014, two 12-year-old girls were arrested for the attempted murder of their friend, whom they attacked with knives and left for dead, to please the popular violent fictional character Slender Man, who was known for stalking, abducting, and traumatizing people, particularly children. In 2018, the character Momo became a worldwide phenomenon after it was reported that children and adolescents were being enticed by Momo to perform a series of dangerous tasks, including violent attacks, self-harm, and suicide. Reports also noted that Momo was being inserted into children's programming with gory images popping up and terrifying them. Parents who were upset about Slender Man and Momo, and numerous others like them, like Huggy Wuggy and Kissy Missy, who inject evil intentions into the hearts and minds of children, are often accused of moral panic by skeptics who give no credit to the spiritual motivations of those who create such characters, and laugh off the idea that anyone would try to harm kids through harmless fictional characters, like fluffy pink Kissy Missy.
Hello there.
Stay back!
It's a lovely night.
Don't hurt me. I'm warning you.
Well, there's been a terrible misunderstanding. My hugs don't hurt one bit. You'll be dead before the pain comes.
Help me! Help!
And now, as a new wave of letters are being sent home to a new generation of parents regarding a new character that poses a new threat to their children, parents are purchasing Huggy Wuggy and Kissy Missy toys and apps for their kids to play with, dismissing it as harmless fun. But is it worth the cost?
So that's my story. Any last words?
You're a monster!
You keep saying that. And you're right. I am.
examining the issues that pertain to the people of God. This is the matter at hand. From in and around the Capital Region, on the Alive Radio Network, I'm Alicia Purdy.